From the wrestler turned actor having a surprise appearance in the new movie, to Fast X opening at #1 around the globe, here is everything about Dwayne Johnson hinting at a Luke Hobbs spinoff. Yes, The Rock really is coming back to the Fast saga. Actually, scratch that. He has come back to the franchise. For those who watched the latest Fast X movie, you know what I'm talking about. But for those who didn't, Johnson had a surprise post-credits scene in Fast X, and it came as a huge shock. Even the big man himself confirmed it, as he received videos from cinemas around the world, roaring in celebration as the star made his return to the screen. He called it a rock concert. And if you were one of the fans celebrating the actor's return to the franchise, I've got even more good news for you. The actor is coming back for more than a post-credits scene. In fact, The Rock will be starring in the next chapter of the Fast franchise, where he'll go up directly against Jason Momoa's Dante. He told fans the good news in an Instagram post where he wrote, "Hope you've got your funderwear on. Hobbs is back." The Hollywood star wrote in very clear words that Luke Hobbs will be returning to the Fast and Furious franchise. He then said that the next film we see the legendary lawman in the Hobbs movie. That will serve as a fresh new chapter and set up for Fast X Part 2. Fast X was all about Dante seeking revenge on Dom and his family for killing his father and drug kingpin Hernan Reyes. But Dom wasn't the only one responsible for Reyes' death. If you remember, it was actually Hobbs who pulled the trigger and took him out for good. And so, it kind of makes sense why Dante would be going after Agent Hobbs next. It's also what went down in the post-credits scene as well. Hobbs received an anonymous call, a threatening one, I might add. Not that he was intimidated or anything. Of course, it was from Dante, and it kinda set up the upcoming movie. To make matters interesting, Johnson revealed the plot himself in a Twitter video, and talked about how it's not even unfinished business between Jason's character and Hobbs. In The Rock's words, it's business about to pick up. He built up the hype by saying, "If anyone thought The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin headlining 3 WrestleMania was earth-shattering, well then, they need to see when Dante and Hobbs collide." In the same video, Dwayne praised Jason for his work on the latest movie by saying that he did a great job with the character of Dante. Honestly speaking, some of us really can't wait to see Jason and The Rock go at it. To be fair, no one thought this day would come because back in November 2021, Johnson said that there was no chance of him coming back to the franchise. Vin Diesel very publicly asked The Rock to come back to the franchise for Fast 10. He wrote, "My little brother, Dwayne, the time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10. He added a touch of emotion to the post as well, saying how his kids call The Rock Uncle Dwayne in the house. For Diesel to reach out this way was nothing less than a shock. These two had had a major falling out on set, which was the entire reason that The Rock had left in the first place. But it seemed like Vin wanted to bury the hatchet. Now, Johnson didn't respond on social media, but he did respond a month later during an interview with CNN, and it wasn't anything encouraging. The Rock made it clear that he had a chat with Diesel and told him very firmly that he wouldn't be returning to the franchise. Sure, he'll support the cast and root for them, but a comeback was out of the question. Oh, and to make matters worse, he called Vin's very public and very emotional post an example of his manipulation. He didn't like how he brought up his kids and Paul Walker's death in the conversation. Guess he really did a 180, huh? In fact, The Rock is back to calling him and Vin brothers. In his Instagram announcement, the 51-year-old wrote that last summer, he and Diesel put all the past behind them. They'll lead with brotherhood and always take care of the franchise, characters, and the fans that they love. Johnson also added that he has built his career on an audience-first mentality, and that will always serve as his North Star. Well, I'm glad he has his priorities straight, because now we're getting a movie. Well, not exactly. According to The Hollywood Reporter, The Rock's film will bridge the gap between Fast X and the next Fast, X Part 2. Johnson has labeled the film a part of the bigger plans. I'm pretty sure these plans are about the directors ending the main franchise and continuing the story of the Fast universe with spin-offs. Fast X.5 would be the first of the many, allowing the main cast to finally take a back seat. It's what most of them want, anyway. Even Vin said that he had started working on a female spin-off back in 2017, and Michelle Rodriguez, who plays Letty in the movies, said that she was ready to sit shotgun and let someone else take the baton. We've already had Hobbs and Shaw. Though, I should clarify that Fast X.5 is not another Hobbs and Shaw. It's just going to be the second part of the three-part finale to the Fast saga. While most of the details surrounding the movie are still under wraps, we do know that Chris Morgan will be working on the screenplay. He's worked on The Fast and Furious a couple of times now. Johnson, Danny Garcia, Hiram Garcia, Vin Diesel, and Samantha Vincent will also be working on the film as co-producers. Dwayne and Diesel co-producing ought to be interesting. Guess we'll find out if they made up for real or not. As for the release date of the film, there's a high chance that it'll come out in late 2024 because Fast X Part 2 is slated for release in 2025. And if Fast X.5 is about bridging the gap between parts 1 and 2, then they'll definitely have to release that first. Of course, they could revise the timeline altogether, in which case we'd be in for a heck of a long wait. But I'm not entirely sure fans are disappointed about it. You see, there have been mixed reactions to Johnson coming back for another movie. It's not him, it's just that the fans need the saga to end already. The franchise has been notorious for pulling off elaborated stunts to the point where it's kinda gotten ridiculous. One fan wrote, "Please retire, I'm begging," in response to The Rock's tweet. Another fan wrote, "No one cares, bald bitch." Damn, really getting harsh here. One Twitter user posted this meme with the caption, "That's it, big smile, everybody's happy." A lot of folks made fun of the star for crawling back to Vin. Yup, they said that. One Twitter user wrote, "This geezer pulled an absolute stinker with Black Adam and all of a sudden he's seen the light and squashed his beef." The fan pointed out how the star is holding on to that last big franchise he's a part of, really not holding back. Are we, guys? That said, there are a few fans who are celebrating the actor's return. One fan said, "That's what I'm talking about," along with this gif of the actor, while others celebrated the fact that the actor is gonna save the franchise again. A Twitter user got a little too emotional and wrote that this was enough to make a grown man cry. Other fans were glad and highlighted how the power of family always triumphs in the end. Another went ahead and said that they'll take as many Fast franchise films as the studio can throw at them, and it's fans like these who'll probably line up for the movie, because a lot of them sure did line up for Fast X. The movie opened #1 around the globe with $320 million, making it the second biggest global opening of 2023. The movie was #1 in all markets where it was released. What's more, the film crossed $500 million in its second weekend, with more money to come. So, who was saying that the franchise needs to end already? Even with the wave of criticism coming the way of the Fast saga, it seems like people are still willing to buy tickets to the movie. And we might see those numbers bump up with Hobbs returning to the franchise. So, there you have it, folks. From Fast X opening at #1 around the globe, to the wrestler-turned-actor having a surprise appearance in the latest movie. Here was everything about Dwayne Johnson hinting at Luke Hobbs spinoff.